A 3.4 million-year-old piece of animal bone found in Ethiopia shows clear, deliberate cut marks. Early humans sharpened stones to cut into the leftovers of a predator's kill, getting to the nutritious marrow before any other scavenger. This unique adaptation highlights their evolving intellect and strategic approach to survival. Here they were, sharpening stones to cut into the leftovers of a predator's kill, getting to the nutritious marrow before any other scavenger had the chance. So, do early humans actually outsmart predators? And if so, what tactics did they develop to do this so consistently over time? Let's actually dig into the initial idea we explore. Persistence hunting, a method scientifically known as endurance predation. This involves tracking and exhausting prey over great distances. Early humans, unlike many predators, could sweat and cool their bodies efficiently, allowing them to run long distances under the hot sun. In contrast, many prey species, like antelopes, overheat much faster. Some researchers suggest that early humans could run long distances, potentially up to 20 miles, without stopping, which may have been more than many terrestrial animals at the time. This ability gave them a distinct advantage in hunting, making them formidable predators despite their lack of speed. Here's a vivid example. The Kalahari Bushmen of southern Africa, using this exact technique to chase down kudu antelopes. The Kalahari Bushmen could track these animals for 5 to 6 hours, using their ability to stay hydrated and cool. They'd ultimately capture the exhausted creature, gaining a valuable food source. Their tracking skills were so finely tuned that they could differentiate between the tracks of different animals, sometimes even recognizing individual animals by the peculiarities of their footprints. A second striking example can be found with the Tarahumara people of Mexico, renowned for their long-distance running capabilities. They historically engaged in persistence hunting, sometimes covering 50 miles in a single pursuit. Their endurance is legendary, with runs lasting up to 12 hours, highlighting the power of human persistence. The Tarahumara's ability to run such distances without modern amenities is evidence of the ancient techniques passed down through generations, emphasizing efficient biomechanics and mental resilience against fatigue. But here's where this gets even more interesting. Persistence hunting isn't always foolproof. In environments where water is scarce, the ability to carry water becomes crucial, and not all early human groups lived near reliable water sources. This means other tactics were just as essential. It turns out that while persistence hunting gave humans an edge, it was part of a broader toolkit rather than a single solution to survival. In arid environments, for instance, the need to strategize around watering holes or seasonal migrations of prey became a necessity, showcasing a flexibility that was key to their adaptive success. How do you even find prey in a vast wilderness without getting caught yourself? Let's explore our next idea. Strategic scavenging, also known as opportunity-based foraging. Early humans didn't just hunt. They were opportunistic and often followed predators to steal their leftovers. By keenly observing predator behavior, they could swoop in after a kill to grab what was left, often using tools to access rich nutrients like bone marrow that others couldn't reach. Consider hyenas, often seen as nature's great scavengers. But early humans were in on the act too. In the Olduvai Gorge in Tanzania, discoveries of stone tools alongside animal bones with distinct cut marks suggest that early humans scavenged from lions, hyenas, and other apex predators. These humans used sharp stones to cut through thick hides and tendons, accessing nutrients many other scavengers couldn't reach. The strategic timing allowed them to avoid direct confrontations with larger carnivores, maximizing their chances of a successful scavenging expedition. Another fascinating example comes from South Africa, where bones with similar cut marks were found in caves. These sites suggest early humans knew when and where to find predator leftovers, possibly even timing their approach to avoid conflict. Some researchers estimate that ancient humans accessed significantly more food through scavenging than hunting alone. This practice required not just physical tools, but also a mental map of the area's predator habits, demonstrating an impressive level of ecological knowledge and foresight. But strategic scavenging isn't without its risks. Sometimes the competition for scraps led to dangerous encounters with large predators like lions. These opportunities required careful timing and stealth, illustrating that while not purely about strength, survival demanded intelligence and strategy. Approaching a fresh kill too early could provoke a deadly reaction from the original predator, while waiting too long risked finding nothing left. With this in mind, how did early humans manage to communicate and plan such complex strategies? Let's turn to the concept of cooperative hunting, or collaborative predation. As social creatures, early humans learned that working together exponentially increased their chances of success. By communicating strategies, they could coordinate hunts and share the spoils, ensuring everyone had enough to eat. Take, for instance, the Inuit of the Arctic, who have hunted seals using cooperative techniques for centuries. Moving in coordinated groups, they block escape routes in the ice, increasing the effectiveness of their hunt dramatically. The Inuits' refined techniques involve using hunting tools like the harpoon, understanding the behavior of their prey, and employing decoys to lure seals into traps. Or consider the Neanderthals, who some evidence suggests hunted large game like mammoths in groups. By planning and executing strategies together, they could bring down prey far beyond the capacity of any single hunter. Archaeological sites provide evidence of large-scale organized hunts, where multiple individuals worked in tandem, using specific landscape features to their advantage. But there's a twist. While cooperation increased hunting success, it also required a level of social structure and language that early humans hadn't fully developed yet. This means that cooperative hunting both shaped and was shaped by the evolution of early social systems and communication abilities. The complexity of these hunts may have driven the development of more sophisticated language and social rituals, further enhancing humans' ability to strategize and distribute resources. How did these evolving social structures feed back into the very tactics that allowed early humans to outsmart predators? This leads us to the final concept, adaptive learning, also referred to as dynamic survival adaptation. Early humans didn't just rely on instinct. They learned from experience and taught each other, passing down knowledge through generations. This continuous learning process allowed for adjusting strategies based on what worked or didn't, creating a cycle of improvement over time. For example, the Hadza of Tanzania, one of the last hunter-gatherer tribes, demonstrate this vividly. Their children start learning survival and hunting skills from a young age, slowly building on the knowledge of their ancestors to become skilled hunters. This transfer of knowledge includes a deep understanding of environmental cues, animal behaviors, and the use of complex tools. Another compelling case is the Aboriginal Australians, whose rich oral traditions include thousands of years of accumulated survival tactics, proof of the power of adaptive learning. They adapted their methods to the harsh Australian outback, where a range of dangerous predators required ever-evolving strategies. Their Dreamtime stories often encode practical survival information, woven into the cultural fabric in a way that ensures its transmission across generations. But adaptive learning isn't a straight path. Environmental changes or loss of key knowledge due to disruptions can hinder this process. Yet, this constant adaptation and learning cycle is what ultimately enabled early humans to thrive in diverse and often hostile environments. Shifts in climate or the arrival of new predators tested these strategies continuously, ensuring only the most effective techniques were passed on. So, there you have it. From persistence hunting to strategic scavenging, cooperative hunting to adaptive learning, early humans developed an impressive array of survival tactics, all built on intellect and adaptation. Next time you think about how humans got to where we are today, remember those first tools cutting into ancient bones, leading a path of survival innovation that began millions of years ago, forever outsmarting the predators that once loomed large on the horizon.